Hey, what's going on, everybody? Texas Redleg here. It's been a week or so since I've been on and done a video. Was able to get on last night late and today some and review some breaking news items, some reporting on what's going on over there in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union blocks. And it seems like things are heating up, which sort of brings me to the point of the video today, which is the instability of the world is huge right now, and there's a lot of leadership in the world that sees an opening or a window, if you will, to get what's theirs or what they think belongs to them in the form of land and people and of course resources, oil, gas, water, etc., energy, all that jazz. But Russia and China are seriously drunk with power. We've got two things going on. We've got the Taiwan issue, which is very serious in my opinion. You've got the Ukraine issue with, apparently, according to Pinball, Belarus is joining the fray, and look for these other former Soviet republics to do so as well. And I believe Pinball, when he says it, that it looks like the old reunification is coming, from the Soviet Union. All the Cold War vets that served during that time, in Germany and such, are probably retired now and, not in the military anymore. But those of us that were over there during that time know how serious it was and how delicate the situation was. Anything could be an international incident, and we would go on these alerts all the time, and we would, full uploads of gear and combat loads, things like that. Those of you that remember that were in combat arms, you remember that you had two duffel bags ready to go on top of your wall locker at all times, and that was your grab bag. So once the alert went up, we loaded up, drew weapons, got the freedom seeds and all that jazz, and loaded up and rolled out for, could be a day, it could be 2 days, it could be 3 hours. It was hard to tell, but we did those all the time. But that was to keep us, awake and alert, and, readiness was at the forefront. And although we've got a lot of combat experience, with the current military forces, it's in a desert environment, and it's a little bit different geography, of course, than mountainous regions and cold weather, frigid cold weather, etc. So, I said it in a few videos back. I said, we need to develop a Cold War approach as a country, and go back to that, because we were able to, keep secrets, keep rhetoric and propaganda down, and keep things processed. And we just didn't talk that much. We didn't have access to media, social media, like it is today, of course. But back then it was the real deal, and we were. We had to be careful who we spoke to out on the economy or whatever, out in the towns. We had to be smart about who we communicated with. We had to watch who was around us. There was terrorist groups over there that were trying to kidnap, military personnel and political personnel from America, and there was just a lot of things going on. But it was a serious time. And those of you that served in the Cold War, I don't know what your capacity might have been, but it was probably the same as us. Now, I was in a nuclear artillery unit, my first stint in the Army, my first enlistment. But, we were an actual nuke unit, an 8-inch nuke unit. We were 45 clicks from the Czech border at the time, when Czechoslovakia was still a communist republic or communist country. And it was a real deal. We had live nukes. We had very, very short life expectancy, of course, if the balloon had gone up. But, Putin's one of the old dogs, and he remembers, and I'm sure he's got a something in a cross stuck in it, in his throat for even giving up the Soviet Union. That was the real deal for them, and the KGB was geared for that. And I think that he's one of the last guys that was around at the time of that, and politically, or whether he was in the FSB or whatever was KGB at the time. He probably does want to make a move and rectify that issue. I totally wouldn't doubt it at all. But again, I think that the instability of the situation, the instability worldwide, the constant uh, aerial confrontations that we're having with Russia and China, penetrations of airspace and sovereign waters. I think that there's a whole lot going on that our media is, of course, complicit and not going to report on because it will make old Joe look bad. And that's how dangerous these morons are. They don't care about the country; they just care about themselves and their ratings, and keeping the puppet propped up. But I would say keep your eyes on this, people. The mainstream media is not going to report on it. It's just going to probably happen when it happens. And most of the people around that aren't prepared are going to be smoked. That's just how it's going to be. If the balloon goes up, there's not a lot many of us can do, but hopefully you're prepped enough and have done some research where something pops off, you can make a move or two. But anyway, yeah, it's scary times ahead, but keep praying and keep prepping. I miss seeing you guys and gals. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what's going on in your area. Keep prepping. Stack it deep. Long live the Republic.